You're saying the opening song to this seems out of place? Because I agree, it reminds me of some other game, but to me it seems really common to have like like a little wispy little thing for like Japanese visual novels. I mean, the funniest part of it to me is that it's not very long. So like it loops pretty quickly and then just start like there's this pause and then it just re-kicks back in. But like when you think about it, how long it actually ends up lasting, it's actually a very short little ditty. I think is the funny part to me. Okay, yeah. Now you got me thinking about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon again. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was good. Still probably my favorite Pokemon spin-off game. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like whenever a new day would start, and your buddy would come and visit you, whatever song is playing during that, it seems like, or maybe when you're just strolling through, maybe during multiple parts of that game, like strolling through the town, the shops, it does kind of have that vibe going. Oh, okay. Explaining. Okay, I can catch you up. Like the couple of things that ended up happening in like that 40-minute stream. You could go back and watch it at some point too, just to see exactly. But basically, I saw two things. I saw the introduction of the side character in Minoru Kawa's story named Miku, who was this young woman who some amount of time ago, not too long, but not too recently, but, you know, a good amount of time maybe, he had interviewed her because she was really into bonsai plants. And she was winning, like, contests in Japan about having the best bonsai plants or something. And then Minoru Kawa, when he was younger, went to interview her because some local punks like destroyed all her plans or something. So it was like a news story that Minoru Kawa went and interviewed. Now, I bring her up because they run into each other. So it's the scene where they run into each other because Minoru Kawa's like booking it. He's like trying to make it to the Burning Hammer demo. And he runs into her. And before they recognize each other, she starts just beating him up. It's like a choice thing. And you can either get basically strangled by her, or you can try to fight her back, and then if you try to fight her back, she just ends up demolishing you. They both kind of end up going the same way. It doesn't seem like it's a big split. But then they run in, and she goes, "Oh, I recognize you. You're Mr. Minoru Kawa," or whatever. She's just a young little woman. And she, apparently after the bonsai incident, turned to wrestling so that she could beat up fools. And so she's super, super strong. And so there's a nice little exchange there. I feel like there's going to be more to her. I feel like she's probably either going to show up in another person's story. Like, the way they were introducing her and stuff, it felt like she could be somewhat important later on. I mean, kind of, but not really. He was running. He was just, you know, wanton spirit, just fucking running and booking, not really, you know, just trying to get to the Burning Hammer place on time, and just ran into her and clocked her. Now, if you do the decision where you punch her, which I didn't originally, but then I went back and saw what would have happened, like, he's beating up on a woman at that point just because she's grabbed him. That's probably not great. And so for her to beat him up, that's probably justified. Yeah, like ran into her, like bumped, collided, both fell down, and then she grabs him, and then at that point she can either just continue to strangle him, or if you try to punch her back to get her to drop you, then like she just like pseudo flips him and then starts punching him. No. Actually ran into her. Actually, and we'll get to this. This is what we're going to end up doing tonight. You'll see. This is where this all connects. So I'm going to connect this really quickly. So then you get to the Burning Hammer place. So then, depending on if you fight her or not, whatever, she'll either put you, Minorikawa, on her back and take Minorikawa to the Burning Hammer demo, or he'll just go to the Burning Hammer demo by himself without her help. Now, he gets there and he sees that they don't have any Burning Hammer. And so he threatens to leave and not do the story to Yama, whatever his fucking name is. The name I can never remember until I see it written down. So he threatens to just like leave, and then that's like the end of the story because there's no Burning Hammer. So then it goes, we need to make sure, basically it's like, gotta get Tama to get the fucking Burning Hammer, and you're like, alright, I gotta go back to Tama and do something. There's something Tama, because everyone else's story is done. It's like, Tama is the linchpin to this whole thing. Like, Tama needs to get the Burning Hammer. And so you go back to Tama's story, and it says like, if this Minorikawa, no, it doesn't name him, but it's like, if someone doesn't run into the buyer, because if you'll remember, I don't know, this is really going back, Tama is trying to buy the Burning Hammer in like the knick-knack shop or something like that, and they had to have her, and it turns out what it's painting the picture is that this Miku girl is the other buyer / seller or something of the Burning Hammer or whatever. And they're supposed to meet, but because she ran into Minorikawa, she was unable to meet Tama there, and so Tama was unable to get the Burning Hammer at that time, at that location. Now, the bad ending that I had flashed there... I didn't mean to go into this. Get out. No. Back. Fucking hell. Back. I didn't mean to click into that. I meant to hit triangle and go into the timeline. Doesn't take too long here. Triangle. Okay. So what had happened... Oh, it went all the way back. Okay, so I can't even show you. Or can I? Let me see. Yes, okay. So instead, so then I was curious because I was like, okay, so one of the, I don't know which will be the canonical ending. We're gonna have to test this out. I'm pretty sure that when you run into Miku, you gotta choose the option where she doesn't put you on your back, on Minorikawa on her back and carry him to the thing, because that would delay her. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go back into the story and re-choose the first option where I didn't have her carry me to the Burning Hammer thing so that she's not delayed to show up to the place. But here, I was like, before the hail and everything was coming, I was like, let me just see what happens on this other thing where she's like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do? And normally she would go and do the Burning Hammer thing or try to find Burning Hammer, extra Burning Hammer. But I chose the other option, and what she does is she realizes, hey, this stupid good luck Geo crystal thing, maybe I can just sell a bunch of Geo crystals to all these women. And she basically swindles, and it becomes a hit, and it goes off on this weird story where everyone wants to buy this fake good luck crystal. Like, she looks to the good luck crystal, and then by looking at the good luck crystal, she's like, wait a second. And then the three of them go on a business trip, and it's bizarre. It was great, though. So, in saying all that. Oh, you're gonna be able to meet Miku here because I'm gonna have to choose to not hit her. I gotta choose whatever the other option is. There was a lot of great pictures here. Like, this is a good picture. There was a lot of good pictures shown in the 40 minutes that I did play last night. No, yeah, I explained it perfectly. I explained it 100%, nothing confusing to what I was saying, and it all makes sense. But you're gonna basically see it here now that I forgot that I'm gonna have to replay this part to choose the... I'll just let it play. Sorry. He bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going. Minorikawa could barely croak out his apology. Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once, the girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. Wait, hold on, she murmured. She stared good and hard at Minorikawa's face. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa! Surprised, Minorikawa gave her another look. Miku? Yeah! Wow, so you do remember me. She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. Wow, how long has it been? She asked. Oh, 5 years. Okay, there's the amount of time that I was trying to remember. About 5 years, I think. You still doing your bonsai stuff? Nah, she replied. I gave that up. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. Oh, we're getting the whole story again. Good. It's a refresher for everyone. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. I want to get strong, she had said. Strong enough to beat those guys up. And so Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. Well, you've gotten strong, all right, Minorikawa said. That's the sort of gal I am. Miku handed him a flyer. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. It's a very confusing flyer. Present this flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. Jesus, Minorikawa, you should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the reigning champion. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? Yikes, good thing I apologized when I did. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now, I'm in sort of a hurry, though. Oh, sure, Miku said. Catch you later, then. She headed into the shop as Minorikawa rushed off toward the sales demo. See, she's going into the shop, so I'm pretty sure I had to reset and choose this option and not do the option where she gave him a piggyback ride. She needs to go into the shop, because then at this point, so it probably saves in there. Oh, it's gonna make me do the whole blips and bobs. Whatever, game. Alright, fine. It's like last night didn't even happen, basically. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it, as seen in magazines, 100% weight loss guaranteed. The messaging was all kind of a mess. It felt like they'd thrown together at the last minute. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. There's all the old ladies. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. There's a stage set up at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half of the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least, that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. Could something like that really exist, though? Oh, well. Norikawa was just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. At the presenter's cue, the cat mascot appeared and took the stage. The audience broke into applause. Wait. After waiting patiently for the applause to die down, the cat produced a small box from which she slowly pulled a pendant set with a blue stone. Wait a second! That's why it's making me redo this. Because now, it's gonna show me Minorikawa's timeline in the event that I pulled the bad ending from Tama's story. That's so weird. It's not gonna do the thing that it originally did. Okay, so originally, Minorikawa comes here, and Chiri is being told to do, like, little parlor magic tricks. And then he threatens, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking leave if you don't get the burning hammer. And then it just goes, keep out. And it's like, fucking, you know, you gotta go fix Tama's thing. So, because we did the bad ending in Tama's story, it seems as though we're gonna get the actual thing where Tama does just get everyone to buy a Geo Crystal. And that's why it wasn't just letting me skip. Every time I think this game is not just letting me just fast forward, it's for it's almost been for a reason. Where it's like, no, we're gonna give you something slightly new here. This game, man. Okay, after waiting patiently for the applause to die down, the cat produced a small box from which she slowly pulled a pendant set with blue stone. It certainly wasn't a diet drink, whatever it was. Norikawa wasn't the only one who quickly realized this wasn't a burning hammer sample. After staring for a moment, the rest of the crowd began to fly into an uproar. Quiet! The cat shouted, taken aback. Excuse me. The crowd quieted down. The cat held the pendant up high so that everyone could get a look at it. Do not take your eyes off this pendant. If you do, you will die. This is expanding a bit upon the end of Tama's storyline that I had saw. A jolt of panic shot through the room. Good old hypnotism. Slowly, the cat began to swing the pendant back and forth. Norikawa couldn't quite recall what had happened after that. When he came to his senses, he'd already pulled a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet, handing it to the man he assumed was the demo organizer. In exchange, he received a pendant the same as the one that the cat had been holding. Loud as shit. I've done it, Minorikawa muttered to himself excitedly. Holy shit, this is loud. Right in my ear. Clutching the pendant in his hand, he could feel the energy radiated coursing throughout his body. The cat's monotone chanting from the stage sounded in his ears like a chorus of angels. I'm turning it down in my own ears. It still probably will be loud in your ears for a bit there. Overwhelmed by a feeling of ecstasy he could scarcely contain, Minorikawa repeated his words to himself. I've done it! With this, I'll be the greatest writer the world has ever seen! Can you really? With this, I'll be the greatest writer the world has ever seen! My articles will stir the emotions of the entire human race. They'll laugh, they'll cry, they'll tremble with fear, they'll jump for joy. No longer is the Pulitzer Prize a mere dream, it's practically already his. I'm just gonna turn that way down. It's good in my ears, it's still probably very loud. And your prize awarded for excellence in journalism, literature, and music composition. Named for American journalist Joseph Pulitzer, active during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and administered by Columbia University, to whom he willed all his money in order to establish a journalism school. 3 Japanese photographers have been awarded the prize in the past. Yasushi Nagayo, Kiyoshi Sawada, and Toshio Sakai. Norikawa wanted. No, he needed to tell someone how excited he was. This miracle he'd attained. He wasn't going to just squander it on himself. Oh no, a journalist of his stature needed to share what he knew with all humanity. He opened up his laptop. He booted up his word processing program. He deleted all the articles he'd been working on. Uh-oh, that's not good. He knew what he really needed to write. Special edition report on the Miracle Stone, only in 4-star General Gossip spring issue. Must-have stone already in many fashionistas' collections. Look out, world. Mysterious gemstone set to change international balance of power. Blessed by the Miracle Stone, get your hot stock tips here. The pages originally slated for the pros and cons of security cameras and washed-up screenwriters were instead filled with glowing praise and rave reviews for the Miracle Stone. Never had Norikawa. Oh, here we go. I can turn it back up here. Oh, God. That was crazy. Why was that so loud? Fucking blurting in my ear. Power radiating from the crystal. Never had Norikawa been more proud of his work. Wow, we're entering a completely different storyline here. Back at 4-star General Gossip headquarters, Norikawa handed his articles to Toyama, who was sitting glumly at his desk. Toyama looked them over slowly, then there was a lingering silence. Finally he spoke, his voice subdued, but his words crystal clear. Yeah. This is all getting axed. That's fair. Alright, well, Well, look at that. I wouldn't have gotten this bad ending if I didn't have to have gone back and see it. Plus, you see the 2 bad endings of Tama's and Norikawa's are like... So he got swindled as well by the power of the crystal, and then Tama beats it like a... I don't know. Desperate though he was for copy, Toyama still rejected Norikawa's articles. Probably a good indication of how bad they really were. Maybe the Miracle Stone wasn't the breaking story Norikawa wanted it to be. Tama and her pals really need to be selling Burning Hammer instead. Oh, thanks. Very blatant. I can go ahead and show... This is what this said. It said, Tama prospers in her new life as an employee of Yamato Health Foods Co. This is but one possible future for her. And hey, maybe it's even a pretty decent one. Still, wouldn't you like to see what happens if she sticks to Burning Hammer? Like, I like how it's just like, oh yeah, that could have been a great ending for Tama, but fuck that. She needs to be selling Burning Hammer. Okay, so my guess is now this timeline is corrected. I believe. I think it's corrected. I'm not 100% sure. But if I go here and I choose the A option, I'll go to the store, actually see Miku at the store, and then we'll get to proceed. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last I arrive at conclusion. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some Burning Hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get Burning Hammer. I may have to put in some new bottles and possibly water it down some, but getting this stuff sold is my only option. My eyes alight on one of the cardboard boxes, and I notice an odd mark that's stamped on it. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Chiri said earlier. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. The mark on the box is the same one I saw at the shop that's selling the necklace. That's it! I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop. Guided by this ray of hope, I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. Bam! As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. It's Cheery. Oh hey, you find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go get the boss. Go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Cheery nods. I break back into a run. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes, I'm in luck. I dive into one of the boxes, check what's inside. Yeah, it's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's burning hammer, all right. It's 50 bottles per box. There are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I could buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yanagashita said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen apiece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, we'll be able to pay back his debts, no problem. Whoa, what's the deal with you? Sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff? I like your entire stock. I point to the burning hammer, and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's all out of my hands. And could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. Aha! Yeah, we've corrected the storylines. The timelines have been fixed. Tama and Miku meeting. Great. Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please pardon my intrusion, but would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Super curious is hyphenated, which is interesting. Surely you don't need this many, though. I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh, wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work do you do exactly? Fucking horny-ass sales clerk. I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know the place, the sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial art competitions, right? Sometimes I can't with this game, man. Hold on. What are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of the place. It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap, the sales clerk explains. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members, is not accepting new ones, given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fighters are really something to see. Oh boy, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. Not our sweet Miku. So then, no! Bike Guy's the worst! He's scummy. He owns a dumb knick-knack shop where he just picks up shit off the street. And he's low-key creepo. So then, you must be pretty strong, huh? He says to the girl. Well, I mean, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me? I ask. A challenge? If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. Jesus. I intend to find out. Oh wow, sales clerk exclaims. Cosplay cafe hobby is certainly one way of saying it. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. I have just got to see this. I'm glad to have him egging us on. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet, we've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. Tama, I fucking believe in you. With everything you got, Tama, I've got to win this. Somehow or another, I have got to. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. It's going to be a little tougher than the cockroach from earlier. I address my opponent. And by challenge, I naturally mean... And by challenge, I naturally mean... What's a rhyming game? Rock, paper, scissors. Straight up fight. You know what? Mama didn't raise a coward. Let's go straight up fight. Let's have ourselves a straight up fight. The girl grins nice and wide, like she'd been waiting to hear me say that. Okay, you're on. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Ah, yes, the common pre-fight. Give your combatant, your fellow combatant, your name. I hope this turns into like straight up like shitty ass fighting game. No, this man is into this. All right. Let's not mince words here. Miku and I march out of the shop. Out on the pavement, we stare each other down. She's got her equipment on her. So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. But if I win, I get to keep it and you have to pay for it. What? Isn't that a little unfair? If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal. I don't have the time to rethink this. Alright. Ready whenever you are. Miku does a little brisk shadow boxing. Oh shit, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. A training technique for boxing involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. Whoa, what's the deal? Is something going on? It's a street fight! A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, Achiendo and Hitomi Asawa. They pass by while running away from some mysterious foreigners. Yeah, a jump! I don't have time for that. As well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows. Asao Ozu and his underling, Yutaro Sagawa, members of the Gumi Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryu Gumi operates a lending firm called Takarada Financing. These two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts. They've already collected from one client today. Next, they plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find their next target. And some of them stopped to form a small crowd. Sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. Oh fuck! A left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's the champion. Hiya! She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. It's a type of punch. It involves swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it's common to see a fighter continue the momentum from a hook to to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into a takedown and pin. I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. Swat. Got her! Whoa! She slips off balance and pitches forward. Oh wow, what was that? The crowd has started clamoring. Miku's gonna fucking kick my ass, isn't she? Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance. What the? How? She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Oh my god. This time I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha, she calls out. It was a feint. Oh. Straight to the head. There's a visceral whoomp as the second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa, what gives? My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow, to the point that I barely feel it. Hiya! She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot. Holding her off balance, I begin to walk her backward, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Quoi? A casual flip of my paw, and Miku goes whirling through the air. Whoa! Ah! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. Fucking got her, dude. Ooh, you're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, I am a cat. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Miku, you can't give up like that! Tama just demolished Miku's fighting spirit. Today is the day I retire. Good match there. Miku clasps my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad that my last opponent was you. Oh? Fucking knick-knack shop dudes and like peering from like the glass from inside a shop. Just hey. I hoist up the boxes of the diet drink. So how much does this come to? I asked the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about that payment. You've more than earned it with that spectacular display just now. That was really something. Heck, even I am shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So that move you used, that was some Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, yeah? It's a traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move and instantaneously counterattack. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw opponents with a simple touch. The art predates the development of the more pacifistic Aikido, and so some dangerous techniques still remain. Huh? Oh, I guess. I tilt my head non-committally. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see them. Knick-knack shop owner Tasei Yasuda watches roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. What? He is particularly fond of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid and has thus far only waffled non-committally outside the entrance to the place. Before I read what the chat comment is, I'm 95% sure it's gonna say something along the lines of, this guy is the best character, something, something, something. Yeah, yep, 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 yep. He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a little safe. This is going to be a lifesaver. I can't read. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today? Yes, actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it. I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just got to get back to the sales demo. Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Here, why don't you use that dolly? The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. Don't run. By now the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. If there's nothing to buy, the customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. Come on, Tama, you can do it. Just gotta hurry. I charge the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Nah, oops. Sorry to keep you waiting. You're late. What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Yanagashita practically throws himself at me. The weight must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Oh, I can't jump because it's the bad ending. So I'd have to go back and reset. Oh, it's fine. He doesn't look like a customer. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I follow Mr. Yanagashita into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But look, I got the product back. I proudly open up one of the cardboard boxes. Ah, it's Burning Hammer. It really, really is. Yanagashita clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going? I ask. I've got Chiri keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. Good. I sneak a peek through the door and see Chiri guzzling orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it in one go. Impressive. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us time, it's magic enough. It's a good point. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Chiri comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat. Ugh, I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer. No, that was fantastic, Chiri, Mr. Yanagashita says. Just fantastic. Thanks to you, we had enough time to get the Burning Hammer back. He bows profusely. Alright, now's time for the main event. Chiri, go out there and guzzle down some Burning Hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye aye, boss. And Tama, just go up there, smile all big and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. Got it? Got it. Good. Now then, Yanagashita gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before, who's been waiting quietly nearby. Of course, begging your pardon, miss. The service rep from the rental shop, who proceeds to try to get me out of my mascot suit. It's Masamichi Fukuma, employee of Far East Costume Rentals, the only son of company president Shigemichi Fukuma. He's one of the few people who know what Shigemichi looks like, as his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume. Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike for both his father and mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at school on Parents' Day one year, dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nonetheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he'll inherit the family business. Good to know. Oh, that's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. What's the matter? Yanagashita asks nervously. Yeah, this is a no-go. The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper, it's all jammed up. It's going to take a long time to get this thing off. What the hell? Mr. Yanagashita clutches the sides of his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper, but like he said, it's no use. Meow. The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling. Was that you? He looks at me, confused. Did you hear a cat meow? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Yanagashita and Chiri don't seem to have heard anything. It's gonna turn out that she really is a cat, isn't it? That's what it's gonna be, isn't it? Like, straight up. That's exactly the type of turn I see this turning. They get the costume out, cat just exits. Bah, Yanagashita's fuming. Just my luck. Finally find a cute model and the crowd's never going to see her. Hey, boss, Chiri says. The customers are going to leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do we do? Want me to go out there and do some more impressions? Uh-oh. Chiriko's repertoire of impressions. 1. A sea lion yawning. 2. A harbor seal hailing a cab. 3. A walrus reading sutras. What the fuck? 4. A fur seal who can't reach the itchy spot on its back. 5. A stellar sea lion taking a nap. God! Just brutal to Chiri over here. No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that. Are you sure? I ask. If those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you two. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Uh-oh, hiccups. Terribly sorry to have you keep you waiting. Hiccups are going to be bad if I'm trying to read. Chiri and I spring into action on stage. But now I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer, latest product from the West. It has taken the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works its magic, Chiri begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Chiri will demonstrate it with a taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how Burning Hammer works. It activates the capsaicin found in chili peppers. It's the primary spice component of chili peppers, said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning of fat. Because it is a severe skin and eye irritant, it's also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray for personal defense. I pause to take a deep breath before continuing. And, rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Though the term is frequently used in recent years to simply refer to the state of being overweight, obesity in the clinical sense is a medical condition involving interrelated health issues including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at a high risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now, this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. She steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burned right there on the spot. Chiri holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high. Cheers, she says. As she opens the bottle, however, one of the women in the front row speaks up. Hold on. She's already sweating pretty hard. She's right. Chiri's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in, suspicious. All of that juice drinking from earlier, that was all just to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden, the crowd was in an uproar. No, no, not at all. Drinking burnt hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rushed to towel off Cheery's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up, drink it down. Cheery's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. Gah! Why isn't it working? I exclaimed, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much, Cheery replies unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much? Oh, that's good. Look! You were taking forever at the 100 yen shop! The crowd shifts from uproar into riot. Did she just say 100 yen shop? Scowling customers begin to close in. No, that's not it. You got it all wrong. Please, just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. Situation has gotten out of our control. Look, this product's so valuable that 100 yen shop is about the only way we could get it. Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. The customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Yes, I'll do what I would do in this situation. Haha, kidding, kidding. That was just a joke. I've just gotta play this off smooth. I mean, seriously, there's no way you'd find something this high quality in a 100 yen shop. Ha 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 ha. Sweat is streaming down my brow. Really now? Says one woman in the crowd. How about we find out? She takes out her cell phone. I know someone who runs one of those stores. Wait, let's not be hasty now. Why? What's wrong? Oh, it's just... You don't need to go out of your way like that. You said you were joking, didn't you? So it shouldn't matter if I make the call, right? Well... I slip into a nervous coughing fit. I'm absolutely sweating bullets inside my cat suit now. Tama! Shouts Mr. Yanagashita as he rushes out of the break room. What the heck are you doing? Abort! Abort! He howls. If you let these people know the truth about the stuff, they'll never buy it. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. Cheery doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him, her stare ferocious. Whoops. Realizing what he just blurted out, Mr. Yanagashita is aghast. Now there really is no saving this. The customers descend upon Mr. Yanagashita, their wrath a terror to behold. So then it is true. The hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you tried to sell this crap for these prices. The throng goes on the attack. Help! Agents are go! Cheer and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Fuck, it's so loud, dude. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. Yeah, him screaming help reminded me of Elite Beat Agents very much there. He was needing help, and then Commander Khan would come in and be like, Agents are go! They'd be able to fix the situation. I get all jostled and tumbled about. And my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. Absolutely wrecked. It's over. It's all over. Mr. Yanagashita wails to the empty room. So, boss? About getting paid? Even Cheery seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. Yanagashita doesn't so much as look up, his shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind then, Chiri says. Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me? Sure, Yanagashita says lifelessly. Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tama. Chiri picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? It's the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals. Oh, right. How much was it again? Mr. Yanagashita rummages in his pockets. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the cat suit to your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen. What was that? 200 yen? No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear at all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Okay. Yanagashita takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The rental guy furrows his brow. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that, but I don't get no more than this. I don't got no more than this. Don't got no more? Sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe? You know I can't do that, sir. But Mr. Yanagashita refuses to back down. Ah, that's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event the suit wound up damaged. No, you didn't. No, I did. You did not, sir. No, I did. Then where's your paperwork to prove it? Yanagashita calmly claps a hand to his chest. Right here. The paperwork is here inside my heart. Great. The rental guy clutches the sides of his head in exasperation. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to leave this to my boss. Shigemichi Fukuma, president and owner of Far East Costume Rentals, notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume. To Shigemichi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits had been ruined, he would probably never forgive Yanagashita, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. Turning his back on the ruins of the sales demo, he slumps his way out of the room. Now it's just me and Mr. Yanagashita. Please try not to let it get you down so much, sir. I say as cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, sobbing mess. You wouldn't know what that's like, to feel so utterly hopeless. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do. He stumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. You don't know me like I know me, he says. There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Okay, now this little pity party's starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only person who's had a run of bad luck, you are dead wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Yanagashita whips his head back up. Yikes, where'd that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia. Yanagashita's eyes go wide. What? I can't remember anything from before this morning. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas in endogenous amnesia, a powerful blow to the head causes physical trauma to the brain. In the latter case, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the cranial nerves recover. My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Yanagashita looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So where'd you get the name Tama, then? I thought of it when I saw the Tamagayaki in those lunch boxes. Aha! Tamagayaki. Tama. I get it. He claps himself on the thighs, as if he's had some big eureka moment. But wait, how come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain, obviously. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. A storehouse? A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange, dim place. Yeah, I had just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir. Huh, really? So is it pretty unnerving then? Not knowing who you are? He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, sure is, but it's not going to do me any good just to fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? There's a necklace I saw at the knick-knack shop, same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow I know that it's important to me. And so you took this job so you could afford to buy it. I nod. Of course, now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it. Okay then. Mr. Yanagashita removes his shoe, then yanks out the insole. This here really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen, adds it to the other 20,000 from his wallet, and thrusts it all towards me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up. I pluck up 2 of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingertips. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so the 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? Like, after all this? Compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing. They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow, I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist, Mr. Yanagashita gets a far-off look in his eye. And then, one more time, I'm gonna go see a bride fight. Ah! Ah! My jaw nearly drops. Bride, like the martial arts pub? Wait, you know what about Bride? Man, I've spent so much money at that place. Wow, it is a small world. Especially that Miku. Hee 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 hee. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Miku, huh? I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into retirement, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. He nods. To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place, and I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources too. I can't help but suspect this poor guy got a real raw deal. Why don't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it with my blessing. Sure. I'll be on my way then. No, that's bad. Get rid of the costume if you could. The dude, the guy who owns the costume shop is gonna be after the suit. Out in the hallway, I passed by the man I'd noticed earlier. The one I didn't recognize. Yeah, it's again, can't jump. Odd. The sales demo's over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last, I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the catsuit to the man from the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around town wearing this thing. It'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figure it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on. I still can't get this thing off. No. It's time I skin this cat. The exact origin of the phrase, "there's more than one way to skin a cat," is uncertain and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the later portion of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh, please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe. It comes off. I did it. I slip out the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. No! How dare you, game? How dare you? I just wanted to see. I just had to see. What was the bad ending in here? Oh, it's the stabbing thing. Okay, so we're going back into here. Hit up Minorikawa. Okay. I'll stick with C. I'm just gonna go home. He kept his tone clipped and cool. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute just couldn't have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa! Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo isn't starting. No real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, alright. What happened is, the required merchandise, what happened to the merchandise? Minorikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Oh, well, it's just, time's up. What? The man's face went pale. Oh, shit, I had to hit the keep out. I guess. Duh. Okay, I guess that makes sense, because then I'm gonna have to jump into the, Yeah, Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting. You're late. What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Yamashita practically throws himself at me. Wait, must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. Ah, oops, sorry to keep you waiting, a girlish voice exclaimed. A moment later, a furry figure comes charging into the demo room. The crowd fell silent at the sight of a young woman in a cat costume. The cat girl panted visibly. Her arms were loaded with cardboard boxes. You're late, the event organizer snapped. What the heck have you been doing? Grabbing the newcomer by one paw, he vanished with her into the back room. The chubby-cheeked girl wrapped up her magic routine and hurried after them. The audience stared at the now empty stage in confusion. Several minutes passed before the organizer reappeared. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, he called out. But now I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer. At his signal, the young woman and her cat appeared on stage. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works its magic, the young woman exclaimed cheerily. Cat nodded and threw out her arms. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. And with that, the sales demo was underway, a good 25 minutes behind schedule. 5 minutes into the presentation, things began to go awry. An angry clamor filled the room. Not this again! What the heck are you trying to pull? I can't believe you'd actually try to sell something like this! That rage had been triggered by something a young woman on stage had said. She didn't inadvertently let slip that burning hammer was the sort of thing you would buy at a 100-yen shop. The would-be customers were furious to learn that they were about to be played for suckers. Most of them had immediately tried to storm out of the room. Now, the organizer, the full-figured young woman, and the girl in the cat costume were at the door doing their best to hold back the tide. Things had gotten pretty interesting, really. Minorikawa pulled out his digital camera and started firing off snapshots at the angry crowd. Some modern digital cameras come with the remarkable ability to automatically trigger the shutter when the subject smiles. This function also works if the camera is presented with a TV or photo image of people smiling, or even cases of cameras recognizing faces in the wood grain of ceilings. After all, if we can make out faces in the wood when we're gazing lazily up at the ceiling, we can't fault the camera for doing the same. Unfortunately, the frenzy was so intense that he was soon caught up with the flow and pushed out of the room. Fine. I guess I'll just need to do some interviews instead of getting pictures. Excuse me, he asked one woman. Would you mind if I asked you some? Shut your mouth. Would you mind telling me a little about... Don't you talk to me. Could I get a word on unbelievable, just unbelievable? The women were so enraged that Minorikawa couldn't get any of them to give him the time of day. Jesus. Before long, the entire crowd had surged out of the room and departed. Oh well, guess I've got enough to do a write-up, at least. Though it would be nice to get a quote from somebody. He decided to try for an interview with the man who'd organized this fiasco. How did the guy feel, for instance, about his product scam falling through? Heading back into the event room, Minorikawa passed by the cat mask. Cat gave him a tiny nod and walked off without a word. He couldn't see the face of the girl inside the costume, but she seemed genuinely dejected that Burning Hammer had been a bust. Hey, I'm Minorikawa, freelance reporter. I was wondering if I could have 5 minutes of your time. The organizer sat alone in the midst of his ruined displays. Oh, it's you. The man's voice had lost all of its earlier punch. Here, my credentials? Minorikawa handed him a business card. The man introduced himself as Yanagashita, and Minorikawa got right down to business. So, your sales demo's over, Mr. Yanagashita. How do you feel right now? How do I feel? Well, tomorrow's another day, I guess. Minorikawa was impressed by the guy's candor. I'm a little surprised to hear that, he said. I figured you'd be more disappointed. Oh, I'm plenty disappointed. I took a big gamble here to repay my debts, and I lost. Yanagashita didn't seem to be trying to hide anything. Debts? Minorikawa asked. There was a girl I was in love with, Yanagashita said. I wound up spending everything on her. He stared wistfully into the distance. Ah, interesting, Minorikawa said. You wouldn't be the first man to go to such lengths for a woman. Yeah, Yanagashita said. I suppose not. A rueful smile crossed his lips. This guy didn't strike Minorikawa as some dyed-in-the-wood scam artist. But I decided that it was time to stop feeling sorry for myself, Yanagashita went on. There are plenty of people in the world who have it way worse off. You know? You got that right, Minorikawa nodded in agreement. So I just figure, well, as long as I'm still alive, maybe another opportunity will come my way. A more earnest smile broke through Yanagashita's forlorn expression. Minorikawa wished Toyama could have been there to hear this fella. I have a friend who's in an incredible amount of debt myself, Minorikawa said. He runs a publishing company, but there was a big mix-up with the scratch cards in his magazine and... Scratch cards? It's not important, Minorikawa said hurriedly. Letting more people know about the whole scratch card fiasco certainly wouldn't do Toyama any favors. Anyhow, debt is a terrible thing, Minorikawa nodded sagely. Oh, by the way, this is unrelated, but are you familiar with a group called SOS? Apparently there's some legendary street gang here in Shibuya. SOS? Yanagashita shook his head. No, never heard of them. Guess I'm not going to get any leads on that case here. Minorikawa wondered if there was anything else worth asking this guy. Might as well try. Maybe Yanagashita would be willing to take his Shibuya Now survey. Taking a little bit of the burden off of Chiaki seemed like a good idea. I have another question. How do you feel about your life right now? Huh? How do you feel about your life? Your products aren't selling. You can't repay your debts, and yet you still refuse to give up, believing opportunity will come your way. How do you feel about all that? Yanagashita paused and thought. I'd say I'm a pretty lucky guy. Norikawa was taken somewhat aback by that response. I haven't been able to sell any Burning Hammer, and sure, I can't pay off my debts, but even so. Yanagashita looked Norikawa right in the eye. The two cute young girls I've got working for me have stuck with me through thick and thin. Sometimes maybe you just need to be content with something like that, you know? That was refreshingly forthright. Norikawa was surprised. And I mean, so what if I've got debts? Yanagashita went on. In the long run, none of that matters. Not really. There was a knock at the door. Oh, excuse me a moment, Yanagashita said. I wonder who that could be. He opened the door and his face froze. Damn! Wasn't quite quick enough. Mr. Minorikawa? Yes? You'll have to pardon me. I've had a little something crop up here, so if you don't mind... Oh, sure, not a problem. I've got other interviews I need to get to anyway, so I'll just... But Yanagashita was out the door before Minorikawa could even finish. Stepping out into the hallway, Minorikawa could faintly hear voices from the adjoining demo room. It sounded like Mr. Yanagashita and two other men. Uh-oh. Minorikawa couldn't make out any words, but he could tell they were arguing about something. It was probably some consumer complaint against one of his products, or an issue with the client company, something along those lines. Man, people who run companies sure have it rough. You hang in there, Mr. Yanagashita. Oh, perfect timing. No! Minorikawa stopped short as a familiar voice called out to him. It was the man he'd spoken to earlier that afternoon about the surveillance cameras. Hey, come here a sec. The man waved him over. Ugh, what is it? I'm really busy right now. I've got a scoop for you. Saw it with my own eyes. Minorikawa raised an eyebrow. Give me the details. Okay, so a little while ago, I saw some foreign guy in handcuffs arguing with someone who looked like a detective. Foreigner in handcuffs? Had there been some kind of international sting or something? Whatever the case, it wasn't such a rare thing to see. Where was this? Just over there, behind the police station. Norikawa furrowed his brow. A suspect arguing with a cop outside a police station wasn't all that weird. Still, he had a feeling he was missing something here. Well, big thing is what happened afterward, the man said. Afterward? The man leaned in conspiratorially. The detective undid the guy's handcuffs and let him run off. Whoa, what? I'm telling you, man, it had to be seen like a bribe or something. A bribe? That seemed unlikely. I swear that's what it had to be. There was some wheel greasing going on. You're not making this all up, are you? Norikawa asked. He regarded the man coldly, but the guy still seemed quite legitimately worked up. It's all true. Please, you have to report this to the police right away. Why do I have to? Norikawa asked. If you have a tip for the police, go give it yourself. He didn't quite manage to stop himself from saying that out loud. No, I can't. I'm no good when it comes to police. Besides, they're never going to believe someone like me. Okay, so maybe you had a point there. But you're some world-class reporter, right? The cops will totally take your word over that of a random nobody. Minorikawa didn't have time to debate the point. It was easier just to make the call. He phoned up the police to leave the tip. The man bowed repeatedly, looking pretty grateful. Oh, thank you so much. I haven't been able to get any business done with these scary thugs around. What thugs? What line of business are you in anyway? What? The man suddenly went pale. Oops, I gotta get going. He skittered off in alarm. Minorikawa was left to wonder what this guy's line of work actually was. But he had more important things to worry about at the moment. He hurried off in the other direction. Before long, he arrived back at Cafe Le Trait. The clock on the wall showed that it was close to 2 o'clock. He had to somehow fill 6 more pages before the loan company came to Heaven Publishing to collect. He booted up his laptop. What's with this coffee shop? Said a low, stern voice. got no good magazines here. Norikawa looked up. An older man was complaining to one of the waitresses. It was the same guy who'd been yelling at his daughter earlier. Evidently, he'd been here at the cafe this whole time. Haven't you got any magazines for me to read? The man's face was a mask of irritation. Norikawa glanced at the magazines in the rack. They were mostly geared towards a younger reader. The waitress sifted through the stacks and pulled something from the back. Perhaps this would be to your liking, sir, she said. She held out an issue of 4-star general gossip. Don't be ridiculous, the man spat dismissively. This is vulgar, low-grade filth. I wouldn't even use the paper it's printed on for compost. That was a harsh way to put it, but Norikawa couldn't fault him for speaking the truth. The man continued grumbling as he went back to his seat. Norikawa headed over to the magazine rack himself and picked up the gossip. He opened the front cover and found the scratch card still inserted within. If these things are still out there, it was bad news. Tama might end up even further in debt. Bah! Norikawa yanked the scratch card out and tore it to bits. Sir, what are you doing? The waitress rushed to stop him, only for the pieces to rain down on her like confetti. The magazine itself is still perfectly readable, Norikawa said. There's no problem here. He strode back to his seat and gazed at his laptop screen. It still hadn't finished booting up. In the meantime, he decided to give Chiaki a call. Chiaki? Okay, I'm gonna get just a massive drink of water here real quick, and I'll be right back. And we'll continue for like another 45 minutes or so. So give me a sec. She picked up right away. Hello? Norikawa asked. Hi there, good to hear from you, Chiaki replied. How's progress? I did it, Chiaki said, her voice overcome with emotion. I managed to get people to hear me out. Of course you did. You got your pointers from me. Yes, I couldn't have done without you, Mr. Mino. Her mood had done a complete 180. Norikawa allowed himself a little sigh of relief. Okay, then, he said. Head back to the editing department and put together an article for me. You got it, sir, Chiaki chirped in reply. I'll email you as soon as I'm done with things on my end, Norikawa told her. Just use the DTP to slot your piece into the right spot in the layout. It's abbreviation for desktop publishing. First, the process of editing a manuscript's layout and a computer preparatory to sending it to the printer. Also used to refer to the software used for creating such layouts. Creating layout data that is really for printing, but has not actually been printed yet, is also sometimes called DTP. Sure thing. Norikawa hung up, then rolled up his sleeves. He sure was towing a pretty narrow line today. The Burning Hammer event had kept him a little longer than anticipated. Now he needed to clean up his copy as soon as possible in order to stick to his schedule. When he turned back toward his laptop, however, he froze with shock. What? His laptop monitor was still a black, empty screen. There's no way it would take it this long to finish booting up. Oh, it couldn't be. No, don't let it be true. Had his computer decided to pick now, of all times, to give up the ghost? Norikawa felt the blood drain from his face. Dead computer. Oh no! Dun-dun-dun-dun! Bulb in there. Alright, that's one person's story done. Asawa's story is almost completely done as well. Someone needs to be able to jump into that. There's a jump point here to get to Hachiendo. Oh god, look at this. Dun 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 dun. Okay, jumping to Achi's story. Something going on. It's a street fight. A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows. Jump. As luck would have it, they soon found a crowd in their path, back turned towards them. Excited voices rose up from the throng. Look at the loan shark dudes there. Whoa, what's the deal? Something going on? It's a street fight. A fight, as the name implies, takes place out on the street, typically using bare hands and no weapons. Even a barehanded fight can result in serious injuries, though, which is why they're pretty illegal. Pretty illegal. Achi clutched Tomi's hand good and tight. Whatever you do, don't let go. Without a moment's hesitation, he plowed his way through the crowd. Emerging on the far side of the gathering, Achi saw the main road ahead. Cars were zipping past in a steady stream. What do we do? There were too many cars for them to rush across the street without getting hit. But they couldn't exactly just sit and wait for the light to change. And they certainly couldn't go back the way they came. The pursuers were getting closer and closer. Hitomi! Achi shouted. We're going across. What? Yup, dragging Hitomi by the hand, Achi darted out into the street, playing Frogger, moving purely by instinct. He wove his way through the gaps between the speeding cars. Jesus. I still have, like, car crash noise, like, PTSD. When they were halfway across, a car slammed on its brakes to keep from hitting them, causing several cars behind to crash into one another. The multi-vehicle pilot plunged the roadway into total chaos. As a result of this chaos, traffic in the nearby area will be at a standstill for a while on their way to the Syndicate hideout. Shinya Kano and Jack Stanley have gotten caught in this traffic jam. No. In a matter of moments, the street was clogged with a long line of stopped vehicles. Achi and Hitomi's pursuers remained on the other side and did not pursue. Although I think I will have to use that, because I think the whole thing was that storyline needed to have someone stop up traffic. So. Okay, that was crazy. Hitomi panted as she caught her breath. Well, you know what they say. Idle feet are the devil's playthings. Hands. It's idle hands. Whatever. At least they've gotten away. Come on, let's go. Achi led the way down several twisting side streets before slowing his pace. By now, Hitomi was slumped and panting heavily. He wanted to give her some time to rest, but if they just hung around, the pursuers might still find them. He looked around and spotted a multi-tenant building. The nearest door was open. Bundles of flyers were set out near the entrance. Flyers for Au Revoir, the 22nd performance by the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. The Wandering Angles. Tells the tale of a man named Ryu looking back on his 100-year life as a warrior. The performance features wire action at its major set piece, with Ryu and his rival Shido flying high through the air, doing battle with the magical Muramasa blade and beam saber respectively. Great. Achi peeked inside and saw piles of plywood and painted lumber. Looks like this was a storeroom for the theater stage's props and scenery. We can hide out in here, he said. But Hitomi hesitated, but Achi gave her hand a little tug. It'll be fine. There's nobody around. They stepped inside the storeroom and Achi quickly shut the door behind them. We should probably rest for a bit, he said. There was a wooden platform set up beside a large piece of plywood. Achi picked up a magazine that had fallen on the floor and spread it out atop the platform's dusty surface. Here, now you can sit without getting your clothes dirty. Thank you. Tomi quietly took a seat. We should probably turn off our cell phones, Achi said. Could be really bad if they rang at the wrong moment. The two powered off their phones. Achi took a cursory look around. It didn't look like there was any way in or out besides the door they'd come in through. There was a single window set in the wall, but it wouldn't open far enough to let them through. Jesus! That's actually legit spooked me a bit there. My controller vibrated too when that happened. Don't spook me, Gabe! Ah! Tomi let out a quiet gasp. Someone was outside the storeroom. Achi put a finger to his lips and Tomi gave a fearful nod. The window's frosted glass blocked any real view in or out. As long as they stay quiet, they ought to be safe. Ew, no. Oh, no. No. Nope, don't like it. Whoever was outside pressed their face to the frosted glass, trying to get a glimpse inside. The blurry visage of the foreigner who'd attacked them was dimly visible. Like the man with the cane before him, this guy was quick to catch up. The man pounded on the glass. Achi swallowed a lump in his throat. Basically. I'm probably the only person in existence who has played / not played, but streamed / recorded this game. This is the only one known to man. The only record stream in existence. I just swallowed a lump in his throat. This guy got in. They had nowhere to run. I should turn to Hitomi. Oh god. We'll be fine. Just sit tight. Hitomi clutched onto Achi's arm. Hard. Can I help you with something? Said a casual voice from outside. They saw their pursuer react at once, pulling back from the window. That's just our storeroom, you know, the voice added. Achi heard footsteps scampering away. The kidnapper had run off. Achi exchanged glances with Tomi and let out a tiny sigh. There were more voices coming from outside now. What was up with that guy? I don't know. Ugh. Oh, whatever. Let's just hurry and get stuff tidied up. Ugh, man, my throat's raw. It sounded like a conversation between two men. The storeroom door opened and the men clomped their way inside. Just clomping inside. Tomonari, Takaya, and Taro Toga, two members of the theater troupe, The Wandering Angels. Takaya is the Wandering Angels star actor, playing the lead role of Ryu in today's performance of Au Revoir, the troupe's 22nd piece. Last night he slept completely naked and caught a cold, leading to the sore throat he has now. Toga is stage director, handling things behind the scenes. He's very irritated that Shinichi Bando, in charge of the props, seems to have gone AWOL. So what are we getting? Ugh. Let's grab all those folding chairs over there. Huh, yeah? The producer said we're gonna need a lot more seats all of a sudden. Mr. Owari said that? Going all out for the troops last hurrah, huh? Beats me, man. In no real hurry, the men went about carting the folding chairs away. They didn't notice Achi and Hitomi sitting silently in the shadows. Ugh. Not to change the subject, but how come we're using a dry ice machine and not a smoke machine? Maybe that's why my throat's bothering me. Ugh. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Nobody's even operating it. It's still drawing a lot of power. I think it's defective. Ugh. I don't know what these sound effects are. Like Even when my throat is sore and stuff, I don't just make noises after every sentence. Supercut of like every time I've been coughing or something on stream and I make exaggerated sounds. I realized the hypocrisy of what I was saying, but still. Achi and Hitomi waited for the two men to finish up. If they were spotted, it would probably cause a scene, and worse still, might alert the men who were hunting them. Once they'd carried off the rest of the folding chairs, the men closed the storeroom door. The foreigner could still be somewhere nearby, though, so Achi decided they should hide out in the room a little longer. Ugh, this blows. I want to get back out there to look for that blue van ASAP, but Achi trailed off as something occurred to him. Wait a second. Now that's weird. Tommy looked at him inquisitively. That was what that was, right? No, it's not inquisitively. It's inquiringly. Sorry. The kidnappers already have the ransom money, yeah? Achi said. That's right. And then they told you that your sister was in some blue minivan. Isn't that kind of weird? What do you mean? Did you figure that your sister was in the minivan by herself? Well, yes. If one of the kidnappers were with her, they wouldn't need to send me to go get her. Right, Achi said. And yet the fact was that as soon as the kidnappers had their money, they could have let Hitomi's sister out of the vehicle and just run off. There's no point in sending Hitomi to fetch her personally. A look of revelation dawned on Hitomi's face. Oh! That minivan had already left Dogenzaka, she said. And it came back while we were there waiting for it, Achi finished. He thought back to his earlier run-in with the blue vehicle. So then inside that minivan, there had been a bunch of foreigners inside. Which meant... the kidnappers had been trying to ambush Hitomi. They told her that her sister was in that minivan to lure her to it. And the kidnappers had been lying in wait inside. Do you think they were trying to kidnap me too? That's it. Achi clapped his hands together. Then they'd let your sister go and demand a ransom for you. And then they'd make her deliver the ransom money for your release. They'd be able to get, like, infinite ransom money by constantly abducting one twin after the other. That seems a little far-fetched. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Now that she said that so, Hachi realized it was kind of a ridiculous idea. Still, what if the kidnappers really were trying to kidnap me? Hitomi said. As in, like, they accidentally abducted the wrong twin? I mean, I guess that would have been easy to botch up. I would imply that they wanted me, specifically, and not my sister. Hitomi paused briefly and thought. Maybe you're hotter than your sister or something, Achi suggested with enthusiasm. Hitomi shook her head. That can't be it. If anything, it's the other way around. Compared to my sister, I'm just... Whoa, hey, stop right there. Achi had to interrupt her. You're not just anything. Not one of these moments. Not now. Please, don't. I am. I'm just... Tears had welled up in Hitomi's eyes. Why? Why this have to happen to her? Why not me? Whoa, hey, come on, don't cry. I'm sorry. Cheer up. It's like that song says. Don't just stand there. Wipe those tears away. That one. You know it. Is that Aya Kamiki? Yeah, that's the one. Put your hand in mine, every single bee's a light. Huh? You know, every single bee's a light? Hitomi let out a giggle. Everything will be alright. You got the lyrics wrong. It's everything will be alright. Ah, right. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense, I guess. Achi's mouth curled into a sheepish smile. Good old Achi. Dumb as always. Alright, I think we laid low long enough, Achi said at last. Think we should be on our way? He was about to get to his feet when he heard voices outside the storeroom again. Yikes, that was pretty careless of us. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch it. The theater guys from earlier had returned, and they sounded a bit panicked. Tomonari, Takaya, and Tarutoga, two members of the theater troupe, the Wandering Angels. Takaya is the Wandering Angels star actor, but lately, in addition to appearing on their stage, he's been taking on TV drama and film work as well. Next role he's slated for is in Sun TV's upcoming suspense drama, Sumo Queen 2, where he'll play the referee. Referee who utters the lame line, "It looks like things are getting heavy," upon discovering a victim's dying message inscribed in one corner of the sumo ring. It's a good line. Heard folks have been messing with the storm a bunch recently. Ugh. And did you hear who's behind it? Some juvenile delinquents. Like a gang? Wow, that takes me way back. Alright, let's hurry on back. Achi rushed over to the door. He tried turning the knob, but the door wouldn't budge. Oh, come on, are you freaking kidding me? He paced frantically around the room, pulling out his hair. We're locked in. And that door was the only way in or out. Achi and Tomi were well and truly trapped inside the storeroom. This is all my fault, Achi said. It was my idea to hide out here in the first place. He bowed to Tomi repeatedly. We're never going to be able to find that blue minivan now. Minivan. Guess we'll have to get someone on the outside to help us, Tomi replied. She scowled thoughtfully. They powered their phones back on in order to call for help. The big question was who they could possibly ask. Hitomi, anyone you can reach out to? Mr. Tanaka, I suppose? Tanaka, right. The suggestion didn't exactly throw Achi. He had no idea what this Tanaka guy was like. Hopefully he was the dependable sort who'd actually show up to rescue them. But somehow, the thought made Achi feel even worse. Achi had someone he figured he could call, but he hesitated, uncertain. There had been a time when he trusted this guy more than anyone. They'd bailed each other out with countless jams. Nowadays, though, things were different. Hitomi gave Achi a puzzled look as he sat, lost in thought. Right. Guess I don't have much of a choice. Achi scrolled through the contacts list on his cell phone. He found a name he had thought he'd never call again. Susumu. Yo. Achi? Is that you? Susumu's voice was low and guarded. Look, I've got a favor to ask you. I'm in a real bind here. Huh? Like, things are ridiculously bad. I thought maybe you could help me out a little bit. You seriously thought I'd help you? Susumu's words were like ice. You messing with me or something, man? Now he sounded a touch angry as well. Painful memories flashed before Achi's eyes. Right, then. Sorry to bug you. Just forget it. But Susumu hung up before Achi was even finished talking. Damn! No dice, Achi said to Hitomi with a lopsided frown. She looked back at him, her expression a mirror of his own. What should we do? What should we do? I guess we're back to Mr. Tanaka. Guess so. You wanna go ahead then? Call him. Hitomi tried calling him repeatedly, but Tanaka didn't pick up. What could have happened? She muttered under her breath. Do you think maybe the kidnappers found out that Mr. Tanaka and I have been in contact? Hachi shrugged. It looked like they were just going to need to find some way out of here on their own, and then maybe look for the minivan themselves. Hachi strode over to the door and grabbed hold of the knob. He tried giving it a good, sturdy pull. Ugh, no good. The thing won't even budge. That door opens outward. Wait, really? Hachi tried giving it a push. It still didn't open. He kicked it. Oh-ho! The door wasn't nearly as sturdy as Hachi had expected. I think I can make this work. He backed up to get a running start, then kicked the door with all his might. Hi-ya! The door went flying off its hinges. Oh man, that was way too easy. Hachi stepped cautiously out of the storeroom. He quickly scanned the surrounding area. There was nobody in sight. Looks like we're in the clear, he called. But Hitomi didn't come out, nor did she reply. Hitomi? She had her phone in hand, apparently still trying to get in touch with Tanaka. With a tiny sigh, Hachi leaned against the wall and waited for her to finish. Well, doesn't look like I'm going to have any luck, she said. You know we can leave now, right? Are you still holding out hope for your Mr. Tanaka? It's not that, I'm just a little worried. Oh yeah? Okie dokie then. I'll just, wait around out here. Okay, I'll be right with you. Uh-huh. Achi shuffled his way back outside. Damn! Oh, crap. By the time Achi could finish processing the thought, he was already laid out on the ground. His jaw hit the asphalt hard. He bit the tip of his tongue clean off. The taste of blood filled his mouth. A moment later, he took a sharp blow to the head. He was done for. All the energy drained from his body. His mind whirled. His vision grew hazy. He began to drift from consciousness. Back when he'd run with Susumu and the others, he'd never let himself exposed to a surprise attack. Plenty of times when he'd taken a punch that sent him reeling, only to spin away and come back swinging. This time, he hadn't even seen it coming. It was his last mistake. Heh. Guess I'll let myself go soft. Achi grimaced inwardly, muttering in a voice no one but he could hear. Hitomi, I'm so sorry. What? Archie successfully managed to break out of the storeroom, only to be knocked out by the man with the cane while he waited for Hitomi. Things might have gone differently if Hitomi had managed to get in contact with Tanaka. Why hadn't he responded to her calls? Maybe something strange had happened at the Osawa residence, or perhaps there was some reason he wasn't able to answer the phone. So obviously, I'm going to have to do something in there. But at the very least, we can see Kano's story has been more unlocked. Because Achi caused the traffic jam type-esque thing. Okay. Okay. Plan of actions. I think we'll probably call it a night. I could go for a little bit longer, but again, it's that thing where I'm like, whoa, this seems like a good place to kind of end it. When we come back to this, we'll pick up into Kano's story, ride that out for however long. Exactly. Rides out for however that long story goes. And then I assume Sawa's story looks like it also is potentially ready to be picked up as well. I don't remember exactly what I did to, or how it got blocked up before. But at least looks like it's available. But at the very least, it would probably be Kano's story up next. There's obviously, it looks like a good portion of this hour left in Kano's story. And then it will be finishing up that Achi thing, finishing up Tama's thing, and then Minorikawa's already done. So, yeah, definitely good progress tonight. And drumming was fun earlier as well. We set ourselves up for the next 4 to 8 stream. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow night yet. I could see it going one of two ways. Two ways being a stream happening or not. Kind of just depends. But at the very least, there will be at least probably a couple between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, at least a couple 428 streams during the night, almost for sure. And then maybe a couple random day streams as well as other stuff. But yeah, maybe 428 tomorrow night. But if not, then we'll pick it back up Saturday night for sure. And go from there. So glad tomorrow is Friday. Fuck, this week's felt super long. I still don't feel 100% well. And I don't know if it's like in my head type thing or not, which is always unsettling. But it's whatever. It's whatever. One more day and we'll have a weekend and figure it out there. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Have an easy Friday ahead, and I will see you at hopefully a later time. But until then.